In this video, I will show you the hidden function in your brain that regulates your inner value. And by you knowing it, you will stop apologizing for whom you are and skyrocket your self-worth. Hi, my name is Oscar and I help people raise their vibration and share their gift with the world. And in this video, I will show you how to stop apologizing for whom you are and skyrocket your self-worth. Now, how I came across what I'm going to share with you in this video is sort of a personal story for me, and honestly I feel a little bit like edgy telling you about this. You know, I've struggled with my self-worth my entire life. I've been apologizing for who I am, and I've never really gone after what I want. And especially my story, or my hurt as a man, has been very much revolving around women. And up until long time, like recently, I still struggled with this. And you know, until this day, there comes times where I can look down at myself of like, oh, I do not measure up to this woman I'm seeing. It feels a little bit shameful to say this. But what I started to realize not that long ago, while I was reading this extraordinary book around this subject, was that men suffer for something that's called visual attention bias, which means that we attribute a higher worth to something that we deem to be beautiful. The difference is that women, they look at it from the different way. They don't really look at the looks, but they look at how the character traits, how someone portrays themselves, what are they displaying, right? Confidence, dominance, playfulness, all of those traits. It just so happens that men who may be good looking also demonstrates these traits, and that's why they are attractive. But the good looks are just a bonus, so to say. So anyway, when I was very young, I had very much acne. So I had very big difficulty of feeling that I was worthy, right? Because my idea around worth was based upon looks. So since I didn't measure up to that, I didn't even display the confidence, and then that became ingrained in my way of being. So whenever I see someone that I feel is like enormously beautiful or attractive, I automatically attribute a higher worth to her than me. And then I am diminishing myself because of that. Now, that has to do with women in particular, like men and women, but this is also applied in business. Because if you feel that you do not possess the kind of worth that the other one has, or that someone else displays, then you will also start behaving in a way that demonstrates this, with the result which comes from something that's called the Pygmalion effect, which says that whatever you expect will also be the outcome, because of your behaviors will start demonstrating the expectation that you already have. And this is whether it is positive or it is negative. So for someone who feels that their worth is low, regardless if the product that they've done or that they've made or the services that they offer is absolutely great, the value that those who comes across to you will see is the value that you yourself believe that you have. People will buy, essentially, the value that you yourself display that you are worth. And we would have wished that it was the other way, that they could see through our own insecurities, but they can't. So getting out there and displaying our gift to the world is not only that we have something to give, but at the same time, as we're doing this, we will feel that we have to stand up for ourselves. We have to get out there and we have to embrace the confidence that we have inside of us. Otherwise, no one else will do it. And that's shit scary, because most of the time at least, we've sat on our room and we come up with these grand ideas and these extraordinary things that we want to share with others. But we do not dare to do so. And once we start doing it, we might still feel that lower self-esteem or self-worth, which makes others essentially like, nah, something's off. I do not really agree with what he's saying, because is he walking the talk, you know? So that's a tricky thing. But what I realized actually this morning around all of this is that there's a hidden function in our brain that regulates our self-worth. And you can call it somewhat of a thermostat. You see, unless we're aware of it, we are constantly comparing ourselves against our environment. Women might compare themselves to other women, and men compare themselves to other men in any kind of way. And most of the time, we are very visually biased, at least men. So we're looking at the environment very superficially, right? We're materially focused. And then obviously in life, or what we see is like we have an idea of what value is, right? We see like, oh, I have this car and it has lower value than that car. Therefore, I am of lower worth than someone else. But that in itself is just our own ideas around that, right? So once you start becoming aware of where have you put your standards, right? Where on this scale of going up and going down are your standards? Because the moment that you go over your standards, you feel superior. And the moment you go below your standards, you feel inferior. But that's also because you've told yourself that your standards defines you. And you tell yourself over and over and over again. And you never really break that cycle. Because you relate to the stories that you're having about where you are in relation to others. So it's time to start breaking this spell. And the way you do it is actually by starting to claim your worth. What does that mean? It means that first of all, start to become aware of your standards. Understand that those standards in themselves are just displaying a comparison inside of you. And you can use it, you can use the comparison to move in the direction of the standards that you perceive that you want to get, right? Or the skill set, or whatever someone else displays. And you can use it using this video up here, where I spoke about the hidden matrix effect that allows you to gain skills in a much more greater fashion. So that's one way of doing it, right? There's like, oh, then you are becoming what you're attributing having higher value. But that in itself is also playing around a little bit in the material sphere, because the whole truth is to become aware of your worth in the present moment, in the now. And how to do that is to start something that's called a gratitude practice. Because when you are grateful for what you're having, you are appreciating what it is. You're appreciating what is. And appreciation, if you've ever looked up that word in the dictionary, appreciation stands for seeing the full worth of something. That means that there's no inferiority. There is no superiority. It is just an appreciation for what is. And that in itself makes the worth infinite. So by you feeling gratitude for the things in your life that you have, will start increasing your worth. But you need to do it consciously first. You cannot put it off, because if you put it off, the old machine that is there, the old stories will keep on coming. Right? So it's a conscious practice. The second one is to become aware of what the 10 things are that you value about yourself, or more. And repeat that to yourself. Because we have to start our brain to look for the value. Right? Because before we have looked for the reasons that we don't have the value. This time we have to start looking for why we have them. And the last thing, the practice of the I want. I don't remember a time like very far back, maybe when I was like, I wanted some present for my birthday. I could say I want. But as time gone by and I started to don't receive what I wanted, it was almost like I started feeling that my word, my way of saying things doesn't matter, right? Wanting, claiming, and demanding, I started to equalize that as pain. So incorporating a practice of saying I want 5 times a day, try that. Because as supporters, either promoting supporters or analyzing supporters, we have a tendency not to say I want, because that means that we are in a controlling fashion. And we've somehow equalized control as being bad. And I have still trouble with it. But let's start with now. I want you to comment on this video and tell me what you want in your life. And any other comment that you're having also, I want you to put it down there. And I want you to subscribe. And I want you to click the notification bell. And I want you to like this video. Whew. So, guys, that's it for today. Become aware of your standards. Understand that they do not define you, but understand where the thermostat is. Put in a gratitude practice. Start writing down what you value about yourself, and then demand from the universe, right? Claiming the I want. I want you to have a great day. Peace, love, and joy to all of you. Bye for now.